The Constitution is not a property of the state. It's owned by the people, because it is an agreement that we Ukrainians have conducted in order to create the state and to protect our liberties, dignity, and our rights. And that is why politicians acting on behalf of Ukrainian people by whom they were elected adopt or amend the Constitution only for the purpose of making the state stronger or making liberties, dignity, or human rights more protected. Moreover, politicians cannot change the Constitution if people do not understand and do not trust to these amendments. Also, Constitution cannot be changed during the war, for the reason the enemy cannot use the process to conquer our state with the weapon of law. Russia has started this war against Ukraine for exactly one reason: to force us to amend our constitution. Russia wants special order of self-government on the occupied territories in order to amnesty its militants, legalize them, and by means of amendments to the constitution to conquer us from the inside. If we adopt such amendments, we ourselves will recognize that there is no Russian occupation, just civil war. Russia forced our international partners to accept such amendments that are favorable to everyone but Ukraine. Unfortunately, our president used international pressure on us in order to increase its powers. Amendments to the constitution and decentralization initiated by the president failed to provide local communities with additional powers. They make local communities more vulnerable and dependent on the president and prefects, but not on the people by whom they were elected. It's a pity that initiated amendments to the constitution on judiciary failed to provide the most important: dismissal of all corrupted judges. This means that we will continue to be judged by people who lost our trust and proved their inability to protect human dignity. In view of the above mentioned, we once again want to stress that the amendments to the Constitution cannot be adopted because there is a war in Ukraine, because Ukrainians don't trust to these amendments, because the amendments will not stop the war, because such amendments will result in establishment of an authoritarian state, because the amendments carry a great threat to the independence of our state, our liberty, and our rights. And finally, such amendments are favorable to everyone except Ukrainians.